Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time that we can come together. We thank you for technology. We thank you for all of the things that you're doing in our lives, Lord. I pray that you just direct us and you show us what you want us to do. Open our hearts to hear what you want us to hear. And I pray for everybody who gets on, everybody who watches the replay, that they grab something out of what we're sharing tonight, and run with it. Lord, put a desire in their heart and then just bless their efforts, Lord. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so I'm excited. I'm going to have Paula share about a product, but I want to hear some crows. And I know Maria, I'm so excited for you, Maria. You passed out those surveys. I talked about it last night, and you passed out the surveys last night, and you got names. I am so excited for that. Are you excited?
Thank you. Yes, I am. Thank you.
You passed out the surveys and it worked. So did people look at you funny? What was the deal?
Yeah, some did. A couple of my coworkers are like, I don't do skincare. And I said, well, okay, well, just fill it out. There's other stuff besides skincare. There's lipsticks and there's eyeshadows and there's makeup and there's perfumes because they love perfume.
Yeah,
So I told them that I was waiting for my kit and then I can start taking them some, samples they can see.
yeah. That's
So
exciting because you're brand new, and you took what I told you last night on our new consultant training and you ran with it. And you know what? I had the opportunity. I should have done that today too, is do the surveys, and I did not do it. And then you text me that you did it, and I'm going like, I should have done it.
Oh yeah, well, thank you. I tried. So I am waiting
Yeah.
for one more person to fill one out, and that's another teacher.
Yeah, I went and I checked on where my surveys, I was supposed to pick them up, and she didn't have them. And which reminds me, that gal, that manager of that urgent care, she was supposed to come this Saturday at 1 to get do a session of some kind. However, she can't. She's going to reschedule for February. And so I'm going to go ahead and move it to 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then Maria, you're going to be able to come at 2. So that's good. And I'm going to try to book somebody myself. And I'm going to go out tomorrow and do surveys and try to get people to book for this weekend also. So I got to get some bookings down. So anybody else have anything they want to crow about before we get started? Anything good happen in your
I
life? Or
did print him out. Can you
you
see
did?
him?
Yeah. What is that? What is that you printed?
The what is it? The surveys.
Oh,
I'll
did
get
you?
some to Annette too.
Did you? There should be 4 to a sheet, right?
Yeah,
And you're gonna
yeah.
cut them. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had FedEx. They just automatically cut mine. So when I picked mine up, they were just a stack. This. I just picked them up like this, already cut. So they just did it for me. I didn't ask them to, but they did it. And that's the form that we're going to use this weekend, Sunday at the bridal show that we're doing. We're going to use those surveys. That's how we're going to get names and numbers. We're not going to have products on display to raffle off. We're going to have products on display, but not to raffle off. We're not going to do a spinning wheel. We're just going to have them fill out the surveys, because we'll get all of the names and numbers of the people that come through that registered. So we'll get automatically get those names and numbers and emails. Some of them have names and numbers, some have names and emails. So just got to figure out how to do that. But we'll make sure that none of the surveys, the people that we fill out the surveys, see if they're on the list so we can connect the two. We don't want to double, two different consultants touching base with the same person. So that'll be good. Anybody else have anything you want to crow about? Anybody doing the football pool? I just posted it. My Bible study girlfriends, they've been snowed in. So they had they created football pool, somebody that they were doing with their unit. And one of them, Robin, she had her face, she probably did AI, with a football helmet on and a bright pink shirt. And so you could probably take that photo, go to Chat GPT, and have your picture in there as you're promoting your Super Bowl. I didn't even know who the teams were this year. I just found out from Siri what the teams were. because I had no idea who was going to play. I haven't been following it, but I almost have a whole sheet filled out. Usually I have almost 2 sheets, so I'm behind on my sales to get my sheets filled out. And one sheet is $1,000. And usually I have like 2 sheets filled out for the Super Bowl pool. But I got to get busy and get some faces done before the Super Bowl. That's my goal. And I'm sticking to it. Sticking to my faces that I'm going to be doing, all them faces. So anybody else got anything they want to add? No? Okay, well, Miss Paula's going to do, you do? What do you, go ahead. Now you muted yourself. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay, so I was gonna say that the prize, I just purchased the prize, so whoever gets their My Shop up and running, it's here. It's on
Oh
its
yeah,
way.
the My Shop. And that's a good topic right there. My Shop. We're both doing the prize giveaway. She just ordered. We got them. You got 2, right? One for me and one for you. Okay. So we got the Kate Spade wallets, and this is the deal. Set up your My Shop. Worst case scenario, nobody goes to your website and orders. Worst case. So you set it up. It's free for a year. Who cares? Best case scenario is you actually have people to go to marykay.com and your website pulls up and they go to your My Shop, which will be awesome because if they go to your My Shop, then and they start shopping, then you'll have sales. So which is a good thing. You know what I mean? It's a good thing because always before when we had websites, we would actually, the people that were the highest stars, which I was always a star, my website would come up before, say, somebody who's not a star because I was a higher star and I had inventory. But they're not doing that anymore. So anybody's website will come up when people shop on the My Shop, the website for marykay.com. So that's a good thing. So you guys will, everybody will have a chance to get new customers. So that's good. Okay, yeah. And what is that? That's our survey sheets.
That's the survey sheets. I just got them from delivery from Office Max.
Oh, cool. So that's our stack for Sunday. Good. We're gonna get a lot of names on Sunday. That's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna get a lot of names. It's February 1st, and we need to roll it out. We need to do 30 to 60 faces next month. And which reminds me, Paula is actually planning we set the date for February 21st, right? Go ahead, fill them in. Tell them what we're doing.
Saturday, February 21st, we're gonna have a big skincare party here at my home. So if you have any guests you want to invite or any friends that you want to get them to try some of the products, get them all, start telling them little bits and pieces. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to get that. Because you want to get it in there. That way they remember, oh, on Saturday, February 21st, I got something to do. That way they're ready to go. But we'll have it here. We'll give you more details as we get closer. But
Yeah,
we
but it'll
confirm
be
the date.
What time will it be? 11:30?
Yeah, about 11:30.
Okay. And we're going to have snacks and stuff. And so it's going to be a big skincare party at her house. And so everybody's invited to bring guests. But you just have to RSVP. You have to RSVP. We need to know. And so we're going to try to do something like this more often. We used to go to Rusty's Pizza and do it, but now we're going to use Paula's house. We're going to go there. So it'll be more fun. So all the new consultants that have came on, they need to get a guest or 2 there. They can drag their neighbor, drag their neighbor or coworker, say, hey, you need to come. You need to come. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be exciting. I've already got it on my calendar. Okay. Anything else? I can't think of anything. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Okay. So Paula, go ahead. Tell us about the product that you picked out to tell us about. Well, what's one of your favorite products?
My favorite product is the charcoal mask. Can you see it?
No, because there you go. You have to hold it a certain way because you have the
Yeah, the little screen in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the deep cleansing charcoal mask. That's one of my new favorites. I love it. So the charcoal mask is activated. It's activated charcoal and it acts like a magnet to unclog your pores. The formula is clinically shown to instantly absorb oil, excess oil, so it gets rid of that oily skin feeling. 79% of men and women agree that your skin looks good even after the first use. It's got a minty kind of smell and it feels really like fresh when you put it on. Right when you put it on, you could start feeling, you'll have that feeling of just clean skin. And even though it's activated charcoal, you can start feeling it absorb like the impurities. It'll suck out stuff out of your skin, blackheads, whiteheads, 3 times the Valerie, what is it? 3 times the weight.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got Caroline and Benetine. I can't pronounce these names. It's a little crazy here. Sorry, guys. Carolyn and Benetine Glaze. It says studies have
Bentonite. It's
shown that people
bentonite.
with problem skin and oily skin, it will help the group. And the skin will also become oily as the seasons change. So it'll help control that. So, and it has honeysuckle and navy bean extracts, which is kind of weird. I never heard that, but I love it. So,
Okay, so I got a question for you. What does the
yes.
navy bean extract do?
It helps, with as a combination. They put it in as a combination designed to help you leave the trouble past behind and to help with discoloration of the skin as it extracts the impurities from your skin. So as you use it, you'll start seeing your skin getting clearer and clearer just from using it. And it's not a heavy feeling when you use it. It's very light. It goes on light and it cleans off light. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be mean, but
No.
navy bean extract brightens your skin. It's also it used to be in our tone correcting serum. And they got rid of the tone correcting serum, but they put it in other products as well to brighten. It helps to brighten. So there are a couple other products I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's in other products too to brighten. Had no idea. I picture somebody in with all these navy beans trying to squeeze out the stuff.
That's what I thought. So application, you can use it 2 to 3 times a week. You can try multi-masking with it, or you can just apply the deep charcoal mask in the areas that you have problems with, the oily areas.
Yeah.
And it's suitable for all skin tones and types. Particularly, it works great on oily skin. Clinically tested for skin irritancy and allergies. Dermatologists tested. Suitable for blemish prone and sensitive skin and non-cosmetologic.
That's good. So Paula's in training. She's learning how to do things. We were on last night, new consultant, because she has a lot of new consultants that she's bringing on. I'm working with her to do new consultant training, a 15-minute on Monday nights, 15 to 20 minutes Zoom with new consultants to get them started. And then we're going to start doing launch parties on Friday night. And everybody's more than welcome to get on either one of them. But Friday night is going to be 7:30. So she's in training. So it's going to be, so eventually she'll be able to do 1 week and I'll be able to do another week and we can switch off and on, which is kind of cool. That way she'll learn more, which is good. I think it's good. I don't know about you, but I think that would be good because, did you want to share your screen? Were you going to share your screen or no?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just learning how to do this, guys. So just let me try this. Okay, hold on.
And then see if it'll let you share.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay. I don't know how to enable you. I'd have to go to somehow into my settings. I'm going like, oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, it was just the Mary Kate charcoal mask little what is it? A minute video of the charcoal
Yeah.
mask.
Let
Yeah.
me see, because I know that they always go, let me see if I can see where I can enable you to host, and then you'll be able to do it. I'm trying to look. I don't see anything that says, it should be in one of my settings on here as I'm looking. I don't know.
Hey, Valerie, show that picture of the man with the
Oh.
nose.
Oh, I could do that too. I
Oh, yeah.
think everybody's done the charcoal mask before though, right?
I don't think Annette or Maria hasn't tried it.
Okay, well, Maria's coming Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah,
so-
Annette was gonna go at 11 with me, and I was gonna take Felicity.
Okay, that's fine. We're still doing 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And we could do glamour makeup because I originally was going to do glamour. I was trying to get the gal from PetSmart to come. But we can do skincare. However, I can teach you tricks doing glamour. You're going to go get your taxes done after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so come with a clean face, no makeup. You can bring your makeup bag, your mascara and stuff, but come with a clean face at 11, and then we'll go from there and do some tips and tricks.
All right.
You're going to feel naked when you walk out of the house. You won't have any makeup on. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share because I don't know how. I'll have to make you a host next time. I'll have to figure out how to make you a host so you can be able to screen share. I'm going to go ahead and share this little tidbit. Karen Rydell, we were at Leadership Conference and Karen Rydell was speaking. And I'm only going to share probably about 10 minutes of it because I so can remember. I've been in 25 and a half years. She's been in 33. And when she was talking about Mary Kay, and it's all about what we've been through, actually. So I'm going to let you guys listen to it. Let me screen share. It brought back a lot of memories for me of all the things that Mary Kay has been through.
World over the past few years and particularly the past few months. Can I get an amen? E-commerce and switching to my shop. Goodbye ProPay. Hello Stripe. Up to 50% off. And now beauty consultants can earn 30% profit. I think we can all agree there's been a lot of change and it can be exhausting. And speaking of exhausting, I know our Mary Kay corporate staff has been hard at work implementing these changes to help us grow strong businesses and help us lead those that we lead do the same. Let's show them some big Mary Kay love with a big round of applause for all their hard work, long hours, and late nights. Oh, we're so grateful. And while we're at it, how about a big round of applause for us? Oh my gosh, right? We continue to step up to these new challenges so we can figure out how to continue to build our business and make our dreams come true. Yay us, right? Because change is uncomfortable and it takes us out of our comfort zone. And our first response is usually anxiety followed by confusion. We can feel sad, frustrated. We can definitely doubt ourselves and whether we can even figure out the changes. And we can even feel downright fearful. Why do things need to change? We want things back as they used to be. It's our safe place. We know how to make it work. We've got it figured out. We're comfortable doing business the way that we always have, right? I'm sure so many of us have had these moments of frustration. We just need to remind ourselves to take a deep breath in and exhale all that anxiety. In those moments, I do my best to remember Philippians 4:6. Paul tells us not to worry about anything, but to pray about everything. And when you feel overwhelmed in the midst of trying to figure out how to implement the new changes, pray. Ask God to give you his peace. Ask for his wisdom and his discernment on how to navigate these changes. He's got you. Trust the process. And think about all of the national sales directors who went ahead of us in the prior 63 years, and they figured out so many moments of uncomfortable change. Honestly, we are where we are today because in time, they figured it out, just like us. We're figuring it out. So let me just take a quick minute to remind you who you are. Let me remind you of who we are, okay? Join me in looking back over the years at Mary Kay. I could go back 33 years with you, okay? There have been so many changes that we've had to navigate over the years. Skincare formula changes from the classic basic to a new miracle set to a 3D miracle set and then back to a miracle set, right? The repair kit, Velocity skincare, botanical skincare, actually several botanical skincare sets, right? And then even the naturally skincare line, lots of at-play color, do you remember that? To lots of chroma fusion to very limited color, right? Selling vitamins, selling out of a gift catalog, many different starter kit bags, no In Touch, desktop office manager, and now another new updated In Touch. No personal websites, personal Mary Kay websites, to now having our own My Shop. Tons of samples, limited samples, ProPay, Stripe, Star Consultant posters, online Star catalogs, $36,000 for national retail, national quarter sales to $40,000, and now to $45,000. Sales director suits, sales director jackets, calling in our orders to ordering online via Mary Kay In Touch, and now on to e-commerce. Mary Kay date books, no date books, perfect starts, power starts, parties, skincare classes, beauty sessions, right? 4 seminar divisions to 5 and now to 3. Awards night and a royalty reception to an award show in the afternoon. Seminar in Dallas, seminar on the road. And don't even get me started on our COVID years, right? All of a sudden, there was no more working face-to-face, but we had to figure out how to work virtually. Zoom parties, Facebook parties, StreamYard, ring lights, Zoom meetings, virtual star parties, parties with samples, parties without samples, sending lots of samples, sending only skincare samples, Skin Analyzer app, 5 and 15, pirate ship, virtual guest events. Oh, I'm exhausted. The list goes on and on. Y'all, we know how to navigate change. Change is our middle name. Just call me Karen Change Rydell, and you can say the same about you. We've got this. It's in our Mary Kay DNA. Consider for a minute our own Mary Kay Ash and all the changes she had to navigate over all the years. From opening a storefront in Dallas when no one even knew what Mary Kay was, selling Mary Kay skincare and wigs, and then no wigs, having a few foundation colors, then day radiance and more colors, then liquid foundations in lots of shades, selling lipsticks and palettes with a lip brush, and then changing to lipsticks and tubes, the horror, right? We're expanding our company outside of Texas, opening international markets, closing some of those international markets, developing new systems and promotions as our company quickly grew, Golden Goblets, Star Consultant, learning how to grow with rapidly changing technology. I mean, Mary Kay Ash even learned how to email. And then eventually the creation of In Touch and doing business online, creating the Cadillac program, and ultimately developing the car program, career path changes, commission structure changes, going private, going back to public, and so many more changes that we will probably never even know about. And I can guarantee you, she probably didn't love all the changes. She probably felt very stretched at times as she figured out new normals. But she knew it was a part of growth for the company and for herself as the leader of our company. She navigated lots of change with excellence and a desire to get better. You know, I remember when I was little and I would wake up in the middle of the night with aching legs. My mom would call them growing pains. Did you ever have them? Okay, maybe it was just me. All right. Well, girlfriends, that's what we're having now. We're having growing pains. Change is a part of life. And for entrepreneurs and leaders, it's a consistent part of our journey. In order for us to grow as leaders and as a company, growth must happen. So we're all having growing pains, but they will subside as we learn new normals and we continue to grow our business and get better. Things are always going to change. That's the one thing we can count on. Change is constant. Some changes work, some don't. But the one thing I can promise you about change is that we will always have to deal with it. A great verse that we often see for the new year is Isaiah 43:18-19. Let's break it down together and see how it would help us to navigate change. It says, "Do not remember the former things or ponder the things of the past." Okay, pause for a moment. Often we get so hung up on how it used to be and what we used to do that we get stuck. We can marinate in what the past used to look like. So stop pondering the past and move forward into the new. We can easily get weary and discouraged and stuck when we only focus on what used to be. Okay, the verse goes on. It says, "Listen carefully. I am about to do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Will you not be aware of it?" Okay, it's time to be aware of not only the change, but getting on board with it. Most of the time, the change is honestly out of our control. There's not much we can do about it. So we need to be aware of the change and figure out how to get on board with it so we can continue to build strong businesses. Okay, now this is my favorite part of the verse. It says, "I will even put a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." You see, God will show us his way through the new. Picture what he's saying. He will put a road in the wilderness and a river in the desert. Y'all, it won't make sense, but he will make a way for us to step into the new.
Okay. Let me stop sharing. I really like that. You know, it's so funny as she talks about that, and then we'll move on. When she was saying all that, I so remember when I started that we got the new Miracle Set. I so remember going from calling in the orders. We barely had internet, big old computers, and we just had InTouch where we could go online to order. I remember selling gifts. I remember taking vitamins. I remember all of that, all of it. And so when she was saying all of that, I'm going like, wow, we have been through a lot. And so for those of you that get frustrated, just keep moving forward. God's going to have, none of you guys have been through all of that, what we have been through. However, sometimes we get frustrated with things that are not going the way we want. And then Mary Kay has changed this last 2 years. First of all, they changed our InTouch, and we had a little glitch with that. Then they changed to the My Shop this last year, and all of that rolled out. So, and it has to change. We can't stay the way we used to be because the times are changing. And so just grab hold of it and just keep learning. You guys learn if you can learn about it, learn about the products, and just keep moving forward. Don't look at the past. Don't look at the past mistakes, but just keep moving forward. You're going to be great. I can tell you, you're going to succeed. You're going to do a lot of great things. Because when she said that, I remember all of that stuff. I remember it all. And I'm going like, oh my gosh, we went through a lot. But can you imagine what Mary Kay did back in the 60s? Selling wigs and skincare? Well, I couldn't do that. My mom had wigs. I couldn't do that. So, and they used to heat up the foundation shades in the oven and mix them to try to, they only had a couple of shades and they used to mix them. That was way before me. I couldn't do that either. That wasn't my thing. That wasn't my jam. Good thing I can match foundations though. But anyway, anybody got anything they want to say about that? About all the things that Mary Kay has been through, that the company has been through? No? Has anybody been in long enough to see all them changes? Probably.
Beverly, you had anything to add when you were in years ago? That's okay.
Was Beverly in years ago? Yeah, so she's probably seen some changes too from way back in the day. You know, how it used to be. But the company is moving forward. So that's a good thing. When was she in?
It's been at least 10 years or more further back. Not way, way back, but back far
What?
enough to know that she's seen the differences as it's, as it
As
changes.
it rolled out, yeah.
And
She was,
and I believe Mary Kay will continually keep up with the times of today in keeping keeping it keeping it current with skincare and makeup and just the technology. It's going to continue to keep up. It has to keep up to continue to thrive
right.
as we will.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day when I started, we had this whole I think I still have a gift catalog. I even still had some of the gifts from there. I don't know if I still do now, but I did. I think I gave them away. But we had vitamins. We had all of this stuff, not just skincare and makeup. And so it was a lot. I'm going like, oh, but we didn't make 50% off the gift catalog. We only made like 30% off the gift catalog. We didn't make 50%. And it was just kind of crazy. We had shampoo and all of the things. It was crazy, but that's how it used to be. But anyway, so let's move on. So our speaker for today is Kristen Sharp. And she is amazing. She is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and I hope you guys have your Boss Babe packets. I do. I got mine somewhere. Hold on a minute. Let me find mine. I've got to set it here on my desk if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Mine's clipped. Let me see if I can say anything. Did anybody look at their packet or their Boss Babe packet? I still took notes off of mine. Anybody do their homework first from the last two? Any homework? Anybody fill out their sheets? They want to share anything from? Why I wrote a whole bunch in mine. Let me see. Is anybody doing the kit and commit? Well, I'm trying to track it.
Can you show me that? Do I have one of those?
The packets, I think.
Yes.
Paula has your packet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The packet is, it just tells you a little bit. I mean, my packet, it's like kind of like this. Mine's for directors, but it's the same kind of packet. And so it has the sheet, the introduction sheet, and it has some things to sit there and read the questions and then consider, to write down your goals and to write down what you're thinking, a place to take notes. And after each one of these YouTube videos, now we're on week number 3, but I don't know if I emailed them out, but I'll try to email them out again this next week to catch everybody up so you can get an email with all the YouTubes, with up-to-date ones. but it has a place to where you take notes after the speaker of your takeaways. And the consultants is just basically like the directors. Take notes on her story. So whoever the story, like this one, I took notes on Lisa Madsen because my director, Boss Babes, is a week behind. So they just listened to Devan Mao yesterday, and we listened to her last week. So, but there's supposed to be different videos. Like Lisa Madsen spoke the week before. It was different than what she said to consultants. So I take notes. So anyway, there's a tracking sheet in there too, a monthly IPA tracking sheet, place to take notes. There's monthly tracking sheet on the back of each one of the notes. Well, I printed mine that way. I printed them front back, so I wouldn't have any more pages to have to mess with, because there's a lot of pages in here, 20 some odd pages or something. I don't know, like 26, 27 pages. But anyway, yeah, so you'll have yours, and then you can go back through and be able to listen to the videos, because they're like 10 or 15 minutes. And then you can take notes on there, what you like, what you didn't like, your takeaways. Basically, it's for taking notes and doing your takeaways. But this week it's Kristen Sharp. And I remember before she got married, and I remember her before she had kids, her mom was a national. So I remember way back in the day, because I've been in a long time, and she's been in probably not as long as I have. So, but let's go ahead and play her. Wait, let me screen share her. You can't see her. There we go.
So, have you ever had a moment where something inside you just knew it's time? Not someday, not when everything feels perfect, but now. Well, hi, I'm Kristen Sharp, National Sales Director, and I've had several of those it's time moments in my life, and every single one of them changed the direction of my future. You know, I've been in Mary Kay for 19 years now, but my Mary Kay story began long before I ever ordered my own starter kit. It actually started 39 years ago when my mom made the decision to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant. At the time, I was 5 years old and my brother Scott was 2. And my mom originally joined to earn extra money so she could put me in piano and dance lessons. But not too long after she started her business, she became a single parent. And Mary Kay became our livelihood. If my mom didn't work, we didn't eat. If she didn't hold parties and appointments, we didn't have food, clothing, or a roof over our head. So she was extremely motivated to work. So when people talk about their motivation or their why, I understand it deeply. You know, my mom didn't start her Mary Kay business because it was convenient. She started because she realized it was time. Time to provide, time to take responsibility for our future, and time to build something that gave her control. Now looking back, I know it wasn't easy. She had disappointments, she had discouragement, she had seasons where things didn't go her way, just like all of us. But I'm so grateful that I got to watch how she handled those moments, because her career didn't just provide for me and my brother, it shaped who we became. Mary Kay wasn't just my mom's job, it was our family business. And we worked with her, we helped her. And even at 5 years old, I had responsibilities. My first job was to label all the products, and I did an exceptional job. And as I got older, my responsibilities grew. And, you know, we always had a goal poster hanging right next to my mom's goal poster. And we even had quarterly prizes that we were working toward right alongside her. When my mom was working for her first Mary Kay career car, I was working for a hot pink scooter, and my brother Scott was working for a Fisher-Price bubble blowing lawnmower. I'll never forget. And our first job was simple. It was to go to the babysitter and don't cry. In fact, we got paid $1 every time we went to the babysitter while my mom held a Mary Kay appointment. We tracked it in our little gold jar, and we would fill in a thermometer with every dollar. So even at a young age, I understood something important. This wasn't just a job. This is what happens when someone decides it's time to go all in. You see, Our family Mary Kay business paid for traveling sports teams for me and my brother, our first cars. It allowed us to graduate college debt free. And even though I grew up watching the success that my mom had in Mary Kay, and I was blessed to have grown up pink, like I call it, I wasn't sure that Mary Kay was for me. So after college, I went after what I thought was my dream job, to work for the New York Times bestselling author and leadership speaker, John C. Maxwell. Maybe you know him. Well, I love leadership. I grew up listening to his CDs in Mom's pink Cadillac. Yeah, I said CDs. I think before that it was tapes, like cassette tapes. But I called John's office 75 times and I got 74 no's until I finally landed a job at his office. And what I realized later is this: I didn't take the rejection personally. I understood that each no wasn't about me. It was just part of the process. And I understand now why I could respond in that way. I had already watched this before. I had watched my mom hear no in her Mary Kay career over and over again. I watched her build from the ground up, party after party, goal by goal, all the way to national sales director. I had seen firsthand that no wasn't the end of the story. It was just part of the process. So when I was calling John Maxwell's office and hearing no again and again and again, I actually wasn't discouraged. I was actually conditioned to keep showing up, conditioned to stay professional, conditioned to trust that consistency eventually leads to a yes. And without even realizing it at the time, I was developing one of the most important skills I would ever use in my own Mary Kay business: the ability to keep moving forward without letting no stop you. So at 23 years old, I moved across the country from Washington State, the one by Oregon, to Atlanta, Georgia, to work for John Maxwell. I didn't know a soul. I actually found a roommate online. I bought a car over the phone, and none of those were like normal at this time, okay? I loved working for John. I learned so much, but my schedule was brutal. I traveled 5 to 6 days a week. I was rarely home. I was eating off like the dollar menu. And looking back, I'm grateful. I'm actually grateful that I got tired of staying in hotel rooms. I'm grateful that I got discouraged. I'm grateful that I was broke, living paycheck to paycheck, because discomfort has a way of pointing you to truth. It forced me to ask better questions of myself, like, what do I want my life to look like? And what really matters to me? And that's when I realized it was time. Mary Kay had everything that I was looking for, and I could finally see myself in this business. So I called my mom and I told her that I was ready to order my starter kit. I'll never forget it. There was this like complete silence on the phone. I'm like, Mom, are you there? And after a long pause, she said, well, that sounds like a great idea, honey. So on June 1st, 2006, I became a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And the very first thing my mom told me to do was to hold a perfect start. She said, book 8 parties to hold at least 5, a perfect start. She told me that skincare parties were the answer to any question I had about the business. Now, in the beginning, I was actually totally against skincare parties. And to be transparent, I actually felt like I was above them. I had just worked for a New York Times bestselling author, and I thought I was going to come into Mary Kay and find like this new and better way of doing things. Well, when I started, my mom still lived across the country from me in Washington State, a 9-hour plane ride. And there was no like virtual new consultant training. There wasn't Zoom. There wasn't like FaceTime like we have today. And she told me, Kristen, book 8 to hold 5. That was like new consultant training. And well, I wanted to prove her wrong, like any daughter, right? My plan was to do parties just long enough to show her that there was a better, more profitable, faster way to build. Well, 19 years later, oh boy, turns out, oh my gosh, Mary Kay, Ash, and Mom were right. And I figured it out in the beginning that they were right. And this brings me back to my very first party, you guys. My hostess's name was Barbara, and I was pre-profiling the guests for her party. I realized that every single woman coming had bronze skin, and clearly I do not. And I had 0 experience with bronze foundations, like no consultant training on that. So I called my mom in a panic saying, okay, Mom, what do I do? And she said, pull out all the bronze foundations and just put them on your face so you can understand the undertones. So literally I had them all slathered on my face and I still did not understand the undertones. Like there was no CC creams, okay? This was a little bit more intense. And of course the party started and we got to the foundation section and I looked around the room and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone is orange, like really orange. And they knew it wasn't the right color. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed. I was so uncomfortable that I didn't even do a table close. I didn't even share the opportunity. I was like, get me out of here. I just want this to be over. And they were saying, oh yeah, that's not the right color. Oh yeah, that's not the right color. And then Barbara walked up to me and she said, Kristen, I want to join Mary Kay. And I said, you do? And she said, yeah. You don't even know what you're doing and you're not even giving people the right foundation shade and people are still buying products. Look at how much people are buying. I can totally do this, Kristen. Now, I didn't know if I should like laugh or cry in that moment, but I learned one of the most important lessons of my career that day. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to jump in. And sometimes not having it all figured out is exactly what allows someone else to see themselves doing this. Barbara ended up being on my team for over 17 years, and she taught me how to find bronze foundations. She also showed me the importance of diversifying my team. But more importantly, she taught me that finding people that are skilled in areas you are not is not a threat. It's actually key to your success. And this is exactly why this season and this Kit and Commit challenge is so perfectly timed. From the very beginning, Mary Kay Ash designed this business to be built through skincare parties. The original intention was to book 8 and hold 5 within a 2-week period. Why? Because momentum matters. When parties are closer together, confidence builds faster. Skills sharpen quicker. Results compound. So when you're watching this and saying, yes, it's time, I'm ready to go all in, I want to encourage you to think beyond just one perfect start. Doing this Kit and Commit promotion, you have the opportunity to do multiple perfect starts. Not just 1, not 2, 3, or even, gosh, you could do 4 or more now through February 15th. Yes, there's recognition. Yes, there's the opportunity to earn a call with legendary National Sales Director Emeriti Linda Tupin and Pam Shaw. But more importantly, this is how top achievers are created. Now, before I close, I want to say this clearly because I understand. When I joined Mary Kay, my mom had already booked or recruited just about every friend or family member like we had. And there wasn't like this big list like waiting for me to contact. So if you're thinking, oh, I just don't have the friends or family to book, or Kristen, I don't know where to start, I want you to hear me. You are not behind. You just have to build momentum a little differently. So here's the math. A leads are people you already have a strong relationship with, and know that A leads book at about an 80% rate. Now there's also B leads. Now these are friends of friends or referrals from A leads, and they book between a 40 to 60% rate. And then there are C leads. These are cold leads, facial box leads, random warm chats, vendor booths, like people you don't even know yet. And they book closer to a 20% rate. And with technology, that percentage can actually go down. Now, how did I figure this out? I tracked it. And a tracked number grows. So all leads are not created equal. And what I have found is that many consultants have been spending a lot of time trying to book C leads with a 20% booking rate. And only focusing on C leads can be time consuming and discouraging if you're not dealing with a large volume of leads. So understand the math. You can't expect C leads to perform like A leads without adjusting the volume. So once you understand that, the emotion comes out of it. Also know that even when you're at parties that are well coached, not all of them are going to hold. And that's not failure, that's just real life. That's why Mary Kay said, book 8 to hold 5. People reschedule, dentist appointments, hair appointments move. So the goal isn't perfection. The goal is to get good at the skincare party. So I want to encourage you to dust off your starter kit and move into action. Sit down and make your lead list, starting with A and then B and then C. And if you don't have enough, talk to your sales director about how to get more leads. Get masterful at booking from your bookings, because momentum doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. Momentum comes from moving while you're learning. So if you've been waiting, overthinking, telling yourself you need more time, this is your moment. But more importantly, this is how top achievers are created. Looking back, the most strategic thing I ever did was fully jumping into the skincare party and committing to mastering it. Because everything I wanted from this business came from parties. Confidence, customers, team membership, directorship, cars, the million, national sales director. And the more parties I held, especially when I held them closer together, the faster I moved up the career path. Momentum doesn't come from doing one party really well. Momentum comes from doing many parties consistently. And some of you watching this today, you're standing at that same decision point. You've been thinking about the next step, the next goal, the next thing you keep circling. And if it keeps coming back to your heart, that's not random. That's clarity. And clarity is God's way of whispering, it's time. It's time. Time to decide, time to commit, time to move. It's your time, and you can do it.
Yay. Well, that was good. I knew she hadn't been in as long as me, because I remember when she came in, when I first started seeing her on stage. But yeah, that's good. It's a good thing. So I hope you guys get your packets. I'll email out the link to the first 3 videos so you guys can go over them once you get your packets and you can process it. Sometimes it takes me a couple of times of listening to it. I listen to it and then I go back through and I'll listen to it again and take notes. That's how my brain works. But okay, so I listened to anybody want to say anything about that? Hit and commit? Or about the Boss Babes? Got any takeaways on that? And when they say skincare parties, of course, we're from the old days where we did them all in person. But however, you can do some virtual as well. You don't, like Karen Reynolds said, some with pampering packs and some without pampering packs. Some with just skincare, some with, we can't do makeover ones anymore because we don't have any color look cards. Some with color look cards, some with no color look cards. Okay, we don't have color look cards. And I'm not going to create color look cards to mail out to people. We used to have small little mascara samples. I think we have 1 maybe lash intensity left. But yeah, we've done it tons of different ways, gone through some things. Okay, so I was listening to Julia Monday Gardner today. That's who I'm doing the Boss Babes for Directors with. And I listened to her call today from yesterday. And one of the directors got on there and she said at leadership, the legal department, I do not know how I missed this part in the legal department when they were speaking. But she said, and I wrote it down on so kind of piece of paper. I had to re-listen to it twice to write it down. She said that when we pull product off of our shelf, now mind you, you are your best customer. I'm my best customer because I use more products than any of my customers use. But when you pull products off of your shelf, go to your My Customer app and make a customer as the first name personal, the last name use. Then go to make another customer, first name business, last name personal, and then make one for gifts. This is to help you track for taxes. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And why she said to do this is, and that way you input and make yourself a receipt for the products that you get for yourself. I have Boulevard, so I keep track of the same thing. In my mind, when I was listening to her, I said, well, I keep track of that myself. In my Boulevard, I have personal and business. and I keep track of exactly, I know how much I spend over the year. But what this is for the Direct Selling Association. When they go in and they look over Mary Kay Corporate as a corporate business, when they go over and they look at that, they can see that people are actually, individuals are actually purchasing the products. They're not just hoarding the products. When they see the customers in there, like in the My Customers app, you put those, they're customers, even though they don't have names, but they can see the product being pulled off the shelf legally and sold. Instead of somebody just ordering a ton, you know, and not putting any customers in and just ordering a whole bunch of products and having it sit on their shelf. They can't, there's no proof there that they're selling it. You know what I'm saying? I hope that's clear. But the Direct Selling Association will come in and they will go over all the things to make sure that we're legal with our selling. And that helps Mary Kay Corporate to see that we are legal with our selling, along with all your other customers you put in there, but for your own personal products. And if you do gifts and if I pull products off my shelf and use for my business supplies to do faces or make samples, that's a tax write-off. That is a tax write-off. So this helps Mary Kay Corporate so they don't get in trouble, because the Direct Selling Association can shut you down in a heartbeat if you're not doing things right. If it doesn't look legal, they can shut you down. So this helps Mary Kay Corporate. I had no idea that, you know, because I keep track of my own personal use and my business use, but I didn't realize that I don't keep track of it in the My Customers app. Okay, another thing that I learned today, Facebook posts. When you're inviting people to events, it's okay to put the invite on your Facebook. It's okay to put the invite on your Facebook. However, you don't want to put on there, you know, you're invited to this pampering session, or you're invited to Glam and Glow, and you'll get a free mascara for attending. You don't want to put the free mascara. You don't want to put that they're getting a free gift. You can invite them legally. This is from the legal. You can invite them legally to the event, but don't put on there that they're getting a free gift or a free product. You send them a private message and tell them, oh, thank you, you're coming, you'll get a free gift for coming. That's what you do. Do it legally. And then also make sure you put like an asterisk and put if you don't have a Mary Kay consultant. So when people blast stuff out on Facebook or Instagram or whatever saying, you're invited to, you know, hit me up or whatever. Hit me up if you want to come to this event or whatever. You'll get a free gift. You can't say it that way. You can invite them to come, but don't put free gift, and make sure you always don't take somebody else's customer. Okay. So if you don't have a Mary Kay consultant, or, you know, because they can always reach out to their own consultant and see what she's doing. But this actually, the FTC, so Mary Kay doesn't get in trouble from the FTC and they make you pull a post and they do all the things. It's the legal part of it. I had no idea. You know, I see them all the time, people posting stuff all the time. Sometimes I hesitate on posting stuff, or I don't post it. I'll post it in the private group, but I won't post it on my personal page or my stories and say you get a free gift. So just a FYI. And then Julia is going to be doing a glow up starting February 1st. And it's a video every day. And it's about how different areas of your life. She said to pick 10 different areas of your life that you want to glow. But what I heard, so that's a whole other process there. I can't quite, I like the idea of glow up, and I have to process that. So I'm not going to be doing her glow up thing. But what I did learn is one of the directors talked about having a wow session. So I like glow up. I like the title glow up as a party, glow up. But she talked about having a wow session. And I thought, wow session? What's a wow session? She goes, and we get in camo. We do the flyer and we have camo on. War on wrinkles. They're having a war on wrinkles. A wow session. And I go, oh my gosh. I had to re-listen to it so I could write it down right. A war on wrinkles. They're having a war on wrinkles to get rid of wrinkles. And they're like in the camouflage stuff, you know, and they're actually combating wrinkles. So that's a whole new session that we might have to do. But she said that a lot of her people that came were like in their 70s and 80s. And they said, well, you can't help this. Well, yes, you can help it. You know what I mean? You can help wrinkles no matter what age. You can help wrinkles. We have the products to help the wrinkles no matter what age, which is kind of cool. But I just thought that was cute. So when you hear these little names of these pop-ups or whatever you want to do, make sure you put a page somewhere where you write it down, or put it in your notes so you write it down. Because I have a little Post-it note here, and I've got a page somewhere in one of my notebooks where I put topics of pop-ups that I want to do. Because I used to do pop-ups all the time, once a week. I would do pop-ups. And I just thought it was kind of cool. I mean, pop-ups are 15, 20 minutes. We're doing one this Friday at 7:30. Everybody's more than welcome. It's going to kind of be like a new launch party for consultants, or for the new consultants to get people on. You can get anybody on. You can get on yourself and not have anybody on, but you need to learn about the products. And basically a pop-up tells you about like 5 or 6 products that are popular, or well, hold on. Let me check this text. My Bible study girlfriend leader sent me a text because we were talking about pop-up, or we were talking about topics and stuff. And so so she sent me some scripts on how to get people on virtual on these pop-ups. So I'm going to pass it on. She sent me a whole big old, they do glow and glam parties. So she sent me information on that as well. Glow and glam party. But they're having snow days right now. So they did a lot of virtual over the weekend. And I said, well, how do you get the people on? How do you get people on virtual? Because I'm challenged with that area to get a whole bunch of people on. And so she sent me all of her planning and stuff, winterizing your skin, new holiday product preview, yeah, all kinds of stuff. So I got all that in my notes here that I'm going to be dissecting and sharing it so we can get people on the virtuals. We need to get people on virtuals, especially Friday at 7:30. We need to get people on. Anybody have anything they want to add? Any topics you want to talk about? Anything? No? Well, I guess that's it for tonight. We've been an hour, so let me go ahead and stop the recording.